Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger, David Schwartz, has publicly stated just the other day that the XRP ledger can, quote, leapfrog other decentralized exchanges. Now, how can that be? Because consider, the XRP ledger, it actually has the first built-in decentralized exchange ever on the entire planet. The very first. How could it be the case that the first could ultimately leapfrog over other more recent technologies? I mean, hell, look at Bitcoin. Look at the train wreck that is in 2021. I mean, just from a technological perspective. I'm not saying it's going to go away. I'm actually pro-Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin. I'm just having a little fun with the way I'm wording it. But it's terrible for all sorts of other things. Like, you know, payments and efficiency, right? it's not the best for that. Well, I'm going to get into that. But suffice it to say, David Schwartz does believe that there's an opportunity, and it has to do with a little something called Federated sidechains. And it's something that, look, if this happens, if the XRP ledger ends up implementing Federated sidechains, and a number of what would happen ultimately if it is implemented, and mind you, I should say this too. The XRP ledger validators would have to vote for this to happen. This isn't something that Ripple can unilaterally make occur. And so, yes, it's something that they're pushing for good reason, but stuff that they've pushed for in the past, amendments they've proposed for the XRP ledger, like they've had at least one amendment fail. It was voted on, and the XRP community, the validators didn't want it, and so it didn't pass. Now, this seems rather enticing. Wouldn't be surprised to see this pass. But look, I do want to be clear at the outset. I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related stuff, but just as a hobby and just for fun here. And so consider the following. Look, last market cycle, XRP and Ethereum were battling for the coveted position of number 2 in terms of market cap. And a number of times they flipped each other back and forth, though Ethereum has spent much more time in the number 2 spot, even during the last market cycle. But we may see more of this jockeying for position in the future. And just yesterday I made a video highlighting that Ripple is positioning the XRP ledger to dominate in the NFT market. You know, who would want to use Ethereum for this? When transaction costs are just so damn high? You know, Ethereum is coming after XRP too, by the way, by jumping into remittances. I mean, really, you could word it like they're coming after Ripple also, because Ripple's the company that's implementing XRP as a bridge currency here. And but really, for those of you not in the know, I mentioned it in a few videos, and I covered it as thoroughly as I could, given the little bit of information that's publicly available. But yes, Ethereum is actually being positioned to solve the settlement solution, settlement train wreck for the world of global cross-border payments. So yes, jumping into remittances, which is Ripple's bread and butter, right? And so details on how this worked, yes, it's scant, but it's verified that Ethereum really is being positioned to tackle this use case. Well, XRP is now being positioned to battle Ethereum in the arena of smart contracts and decentralized finance. And so Ethereum may have gotten a free pass from the SEC in 2018, but that won't stop it from being unseated by XRP. And don't forget, a co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin, publicly admitted they knew the whole time that when they were developing Ethereum, they knew the whole time that the platform would not scale. It's a prototype with a massive market cap, but XRP is the real deal. And so I want to mention this. So as far as this idea of federated sidechains, it first entered Crypto Media News this summer. Here's an article from CoinDesk from June 8th, 2021. And I'll briefly run through just a few bullet points. I had a video back then where I covered it rather in depth, but I don't want to just make a whole video just rehashing news from June, so I'm just going to kind of briefly run through and get you caught up as much as I reasonably can, even though this is admittedly a rather complex topic. But here you can see the headline from CoinDesk from June 8th this year. Ripple proposes adding federated sidechains. Ripple Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz proposed introducing federated sidechains to enable implementation of smart contracts adjacent to the XRP ledger. By the way, I've got brand new stuff from David Schwartz, which is what I'm going to hop into right after this, and that's where he's talking about the XRP ledger leapfrogging over other technologies. And you got to wonder what that's going to mean for XRP, because XRP is a factor in all of this, because you're talking about the native asset of the XRP ledger, XRP itself, being the best cryptocurrency for payments. It's technologically perfectly tuned for that use case, even after being around for almost a decade. It's still hitting the mark. And so anyway, here's the first bullet point. Ripple has resisted smart contract capabilities because of the risk of compromising the focus on payments, Schwartz wrote in a blog post Monday. Yeah, so I'll pause there just to note that David Schwartz has publicly talked about this a number of times over the years. And back when XRP and the XRP ledger was being developed, there was talk about implementing smart contract types of capabilities, but they thought that was putting the cart ahead of the horse. And so rather than focus on that type of implementation, they focused on just making the XRP ledger and XRP the best for payments, even though they didn't know exactly even then to what degree or what way it could potentially be implemented in the real world, but they wanted something that was fine-tuned for that. And the truth of the matter is that if a cryptocurrency can't be all things to all people or businesses on one single blockchain. There are always trade-offs. And so they thought that it made more sense to just focus on it's having a better version of Bitcoin and creating XRP, because that was the goal, just to create a better version of Bitcoin, but fine-tuned for payments. And so then you don't have sluggishness or this or that or higher transaction fees, which probably would have resulted if they tried to implement smart contract capabilities in conjunction with everything else they already wanted the XRP ledger to do. And so, but to be clear, it doesn't mean the rest can't happen, but that's where these side chains come in. So just hold on, we'll get to, let me go through this, you'll see what I'm talking about. But next bullet point, demand, however, has increased with the growth of decentralized finance, and federated side chains for the XRP ledger would enable developers to implement native smart contracts that interact with XRP and the XRP ledger while keeping the ledger lean and efficient, Schwartz said. And so look, it's so fascinating seeing so many people come at this from so many different directions with different blockchains unrelated to XRP and some that are directly related to XRP, including Flare Network with the Spark token. And at this point in 2021, there's no way to know exactly like what will have taken hold. If you were to fast forward like a decade from now and it's suddenly 2031, who are the winners? You know, in a broad sense, I still tend to think that XRP Ledger, just being the case that even after almost a decade, it's still the best cryptocurrency for payments. It's already very liquid. It's proven to work. Given that's the case, I don't see why that would go away, especially if you can use it in conjunction with other platforms and sidechains. And so they also note here they would allow for more specialized projects to be built using XRP Ledger's functionality without compromising the security or efficiency of the ledger, because they would be built on sidechains acting as their own blockchain. And so what we're talking about doing is having separate blockchains. These sidechains, they are not on the XRP ledger, but there are ways to tie up XRP in such a way that it can functionally be used, and it would be, I don't know, a better way of word, it'd be spoken for effectively. It would be coded in such a way so you still get the speed and low transaction fees of the XRP ledger, but you can have centralized or decentralized sidechains for whatever your use case might be. So just basically what I'm saying here's what you need to know without getting into the nitty gritty and spending like the next half hour trying to go through this further. It's basically just to understand that with sidechains, you can take advantage of all of the awesomeness of XRP and how quick it is, how it's practically free for every single individual transaction, but then do anything else that any other cryptocurrency effectively can do. That's basically what we're getting at here. And so in a world where that takes hold and that makes sense, what the hell do you think it's going to mean for the open market price of XRP? You gotta wonder. It's not going to be bad, is it? I would assume not bad. And so here's a tweet from Ripple employee Matt Hamilton. He shared a picture of Stefan Thomas and David Schwartz here, and he wrote, "What is better than one Ripple CTO on stage? How about two Ripple CTOs? David Schwartz is joined by his predecessor and current Coil CEO, Stefan Thomas, for a fireside chat at Apex Dev Summit. I thought that was pretty cool, so I'd share it with you. And then there was this. This is from RippleX, the official RippleX Twitter account. Here's a quote from Stefan Thomas. He said, at this event, "The best thing we can do is empower other people to work with this technology. That's what open source technology is really good at, because anybody can build on top of it." Yeah, isn't that the truth? And the degree to which that is true, you'll be able to see right here, jumping into Ripple CTO David Schwartz's most recent thread exactly on this topic. And he wrote, "In case you missed it, my keynote, or two, at Apex Dev Summit. I want to highlight the exciting updates coming to the XRP Ledger. Today, XRP Ledger developers can take advantage of the first implementation of Federated sidechains, a toolkit or test lab to build your own blockchain while still enjoying the benefits and functionality of the XRP Ledger mainnet. Sidechains make it easy for developers to customize the chain for their use cases, such as private networks, securities trading, decentralized finance." And speaking of decentralized finance, and you gotta love this, check this out. "Bringing Ethereum smart contracts to the XRP Ledger could lower the barriers to entry for developers to build powerful DeFi apps with cross-chain interoperability." Ooh, and mind you, I'm an Ethereum holder, so I have concerns in terms of scalability and long-term viability, but I'm not concerned for this market cycle because the humans out there speculating don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're not putting money into the space by and large based on fundamentals. So in the short term, I'm not particularly worried. For the long term, a little bit worried. We'll see. I don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. But here you have David Schwartz kind of taking a respectful jab, if you will, at Ethereum, noting, well, you know, it's rather costly, doesn't work that well. How about just taking all that hot smart contract action and moving it to the XRP Ledger where it makes some damn sense up in this bitch? Doesn't it make a lot more sense to be able to have the same functionality except for faster and cost less? Because transactions, look, they're almost free on the XRP Ledger. You know, seriously, what, fractions of a penny? Yes, please, I'll take two. And then David Schwartz wrote the following. "And we're working on an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain between Ethereum smart contracts, hooks, and smart transactors. XRP Ledger developers will be able to build whatever they want." I also talked about the XRP Ledger's built-in decentralized exchange. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. This is the first decentralized exchange that was built into a blockchain. This had not been done before. This is brand new. And still, there's tremendous opportunity for it moving forward, which is why you saw the other day, Ripple, like I mentioned, even trying to get into NFTs because the platform's actually perfectly suited for it. You know, they're not just trying to shoehorn a foot into a shoe that is too small. That's not what's happening here. It actually functionally makes sense, or else they wouldn't do it. But anyway, David Schwartz says, "The XRP Ledger is the OG decentralized exchange and could leapfrog other decentralized exchanges by offering novel automated market makers, or AMMs for short. A unique AMM implementation could allow those who provide liquidity for AMMs to take a large share of the profits that are normally taken by arbitrageurs." And then he notes, while an early idea, bringing this AMM approach to the XRP Ledger could be a game changer. So there you go. Everything else that every other cryptocurrency is trying to do, you could do with XRP. Because look, if you want your baseline to be, well, actually, back up. If you want to develop some sort of use case with blockchain technology, and you want a cryptocurrency to be a part of that for any reason, if for whatever you're developing, it makes sense to have a cryptocurrency. You can have XRP as your baseline. You don't have to launch your own cryptocurrency, which can be incredibly difficult. And then imagine if you wanted to have an open market price trying to get it listed on cryptocurrency exchanges, and then there's still almost no liquidity. Good luck getting that adopted. Instead, a huge benefit here is you can just use XRP and then have your sidechain. It's just adjacent to the XRP ledger, and you've got that blazing speed, and then you can build out whatever else you want. So any platform that you could conceive of building that would benefit from having a cryptocurrency attached to it, you can do that with XRP now. That's the purpose of this. And XRP has been around for almost a decade, so it's got a huge leg up to any new project that would have to get listed on exchanges and then get liquidity and some backing support, this and that. XRP is not going away. So even if a bunch of the side chains that are developed end up failing, it doesn't matter. XRP Ledger is still here, and even if it's just a small percentage that finds success, cool. That's kind of how it works in the real world. Think about the dot-com boom and bust. How many internet companies went the way of the dodo, which is to say they went extinct? You know, a lot. And so that's fine. You just let the market figure it out. It's a messy process, but it freaking works. So it's exciting. So like here we are holding, and I've said this so many times before, but it's like I think people that hold XRP, so many, like have no earthly idea of what it could potentially be worth in the future, assuming there really does end up being truly long-term viability. Can you imagine in like another 10 years or 20 or 30? What, man? People will be like, whoa, you were back in 2021 and you owned XRP back then? How rich are you? Right? Because there's opportunity. Like these prices are going to look like nothing, assuming XRP does end up continuing to be long-term viable. And at this point, I'm very optimistic. There's no way to know what the future is going to look like. But as long as things keep unfolding like this, it looks like we're going in the right direction. Yeah, I'm long-term bull in that sense. Even though, I can be enticed to sell my XRP prior to that. I'm just saying, in terms of do I believe it'll be long-term viable? Yeah, because that is a separate question here. Interesting, cool stuff, right? So there you go. Ethereum, you trying to get up in Ripple's business and trying to get into global remittances? Well, I'll tell you what. XRP Ledger is coming to just enter your house unwelcome and just like tip over all your furniture screaming shock and awe and then just exiting. Like that's what it's going to do. Because it's taking over all the other use cases that Ethereum's trying to do well. Keyword trying. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.